Based on the news, my thoughts based on news of Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends, and actually Halloween 18, all three movies going to be set on the one night. My thoughts are as follows. Jamie Lee Curtis was the worst thing she could have ever done was return after the character of Laurie had died in Resurrection. In my opinion, it was the worst thing for the franchise that character returned after said death. I welcome this news that all three movies are going to occur on the same night. Absolutely welcome it. The worst thing for the rejuvenation of the franchise was for Laurie Strode, the character Laurie Strode, specifically Jamie Lee Curtis's Laurie Strode. I think it was, in regards to having any kind of respect or credibility, basically it was saying basically that it was a one-trick pony, the movie. The whole Halloween franchise was basically a one-trick pony, with Jamie Lee Curtis's Laurie Strode having to be written back into the narrative. I think it potentially just may well get away with it with a 20-year gap. I think the inclusion of her in this movie, in Halloween 18, was the worst thing overall which could have ever happened. So I welcome the news that all three movies are going to occur in the first night, because it means that we're not going to get Laurie Strode as the main player in all three movies. Like I've just heard now in the news that we're going to get the other characters as the main players in regards to especially the middle of the three, we're going to get other players becoming the main central characters. But see, critics will always say, you had to have Jamie Lee Curtis come back simply just for the movies to break even at the box office. Still had to have her to come back for the movies to even exist. Remain, I think, single-handedly, credibility-wise, I think, could well, I'd say, other than having a 20-year gap between this trio of movies, I think, critically-wise, I think it was the worst thing which could have ever happened. I think it was the worst thing which ever could have happened. We got the news of Halloween 18 first, and then we got the news slightly later that Jamie Lee Curtis was going to return. We didn't get them both at the same time. My heart did. My heart raced with the first set of news that we were getting Halloween 18, and then completely sank when we got the news of Jamie Lee Curtis coming back. That stupid photograph of her doing that, covering her mouth, laying on her back, side to side with... That's an anonymous photograph where she's doing that. Her hand. We got that secondary, didn't we, to the news that we were getting it in the new Halloween movie. We're going to get other characters as the main players for the second movie, and potentially the third movie with it. It's going to end up happening. It's going to end up... Halloween Kills will end up... The finale for that will end up in the hospital, won't it? It will, because we had to write... Because Jamie Lee Curtis' Laurie Strode was written back into Halloween 18, it will ultimately be a full circle back to... It'll be her arc, won't it? Ultimately, it'll be the returning, won't it, for her and Michael Myers' arc to come to completion. So, yeah, it'll end up in the hospital, won't it, ultimately? And it's obviously down to her injury, isn't it, to her stomach, that will allow for the other characters to be main players for the second and hopefully the majority of the third movie. I've got nothing against you, Jamie Lee Curtis. I haven't any people sitting watching this YouTube upload now thinking, you're just hating on Jamie Lee Curtis, the actress, period. Well, I'm not. It's not. It's for the above mentioned reasons that she shouldn't have come back to the movie. It's not that I'm hating on her at all. It's not. I think, as I said, I could only repeat myself. I've got nothing against you, Jamie Lee Curtis, as an actress. I haven't. Other than I think that you should have, took responsibility. Owned the fact that you owned Laurie Strode, the death of your interpretation of Laurie Strode, the ultimate, you should have owned that character's demise, your portrayal of that character's demise. You should have owned the demise of your portrayal of that character in Resurrection. You should have owned that and allowed it to settle there. Other than that fact, other than that, my opinion, my view on that, I think you really did negate to own that character, your portrayal of that character. I really don't have a problem with you personally, Jamie Lee Curtis. Just other than that, I do welcome this news that it's going to occur all on the same night because also we will get to see other characters shine for at least the second movie and hopefully the first half of the third movie. Again, nothing against you, Jamie Lee Curtis, at all. Just yeah. So, I think we're going to get this second movie now, the middle of the three. I'm going to get the Halloween movie, which I would have liked as the Halloween movie, which initially we were promised to get. As I say, the news of Jamie Lee Curtis coming back was secondary. I think I'm going to get now the second of three movies, the middle of the three. I'm going to get the Halloween movie, which I hopefully was buzzing for. Hopefully now I'll get my movie, hopefully. The thing I hate most is characters in movies running around trying to do action scenes when they've got a really serious injury to their body, where they're stumbling around one hand on an injury, otherwise it'll just all open up, and trying to prevent a serious physical wound from opening up and spilling out. I hate that in movies. I hate that where they're trying to do action scenes, characters with really serious physical injuries, where there's a character trying to hobble around to try and prevent a wound from getting any worse. When they should really be lying in a hospital bed, allowing the wound to heal. I hate that more than anything. She had a 7-inch blade go right into her, and as we were seeing from the photographs for the promotion for the second of the three movies, she's holding a wound, she's covered in blood, all her arms are all saturated in blood. I'm not imagining this wound at all, but that's what we're going to get, aren't we? We're going to get my peeve hate for the third movie. How on earth is she... Well, Michael Myers is human, isn't he? So he's going to be injured as well by the latter half of the third movie, isn't he? Oh, I'm going to hate that, seeing two characters hobble around because of injuries. I hate it. It's not for movies, that's for TV, drama. That's for serialised TV. That kind of thing where characters are hobbling around with wounds. We go to the movies to be uplifted and excitement, adrenalised. We don't go to the movies to see characters, main plays and not movies, hobbling around with protecting old injury, hobbling around with a gun in one arm, with the other hand covering a wound. We don't go to movies to see that. Anyway, welcome the news. Well, I welcome the news. It's all coming on one night. I welcome the news. Yeah, great to see what the other players from the original Halloween movie are going to do. It's great. We're going to get to be able to see what they can do. Let's see how well their character's going to be written. Let's just see. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the middle of the three now. I'm looking forward to it now. Yeah, the Halloween movie I hopefully was going to get.